Good afternoon. We're here today at a baseball game between Mount Zion and St. Joe. I'm going to read our starting lineup for St. Joe. Number 1, number 5, Brazelton. Number 2, number 1, Tyler Altenbaumer. Batting third, number 25, Creighton Burnett. Batting number 4th, number 15, Andrew Byers. Batting 5th, number 24, Ty Pence. Batting 6th, number 18, Colby Miller. Batting 7th, number 8, Keaton Nolan. Batting 8th, number either 16 or 9, Zach Martini or
16, Martini is hitting DH and the first baseman.
okay. And then batting 9th is number 3, Isaiah Imke. And then number 1 hits a foul ball over Mount Zion's dugout. And here's your Mount Zion starting lineup for today. Number 22, Hamrick. Number 1, Dylan Roberts. Number 3, Cohen Leach. Batting 4th, number 34, Ryan Butts. Batting 5th, number 12, Jonathan Oliger. Batting 6th, number 6, Jacob Bailey. Batting 7th, number 19, Ethan Parker. Batting 8th, number 8, Timmy Alford. And batting 9th, number 11, Aiden DiTomaso. One hits a fly ball to right field, and number 5 makes it to third base safe, but number 1 is out. Up right now is number 25, Creighton Burnett. This is strike 1. Little high, leads to a ball. On the mound today, we've got Dylan Roberts, who is batting 2nd for the Mount Zion Braves. Strike number 2 leads to a 1-2 count. And number 25 strikes out. Next up is number 15, Andrew Byers. Strike 1 for number 15. It's a foul ball right along the fence. Athletic trainer, Mr. Fink, comes to get it. It's a fly ball foul by left fielder. little high and outside. Hits the ball right to pitcher. Throws him out at first.
There was smoke in the top of the first. No runs on one hit. There were no errors.
So that's the end of the top of the first inning. No runs scored for St. Joe. Pitching today for St. Joe is number 25, Creighton Burnett. Our leadoff batter for the Mount Zion Braves is going to be number 22, Ethan Hamrick.
Ethan Hamrick, the center fielder.
Plays center field. Hits it to the shortstop, who throws it right to the first baseman, who makes that out. So up next is number 1, Dylan Roberts. Dylan Roberts is the pitcher for the Braves. Foul tip leads to first strike, counts 0-1. Strike number 2. It's a foul ball over the St. Joe dugout. You can tell Dylan's ready to hit today. He's swinging at pretty much everything. Another foul ball. Hits a fly ball right in the center of the left and center fielder. Makes it to first base. Brings up our catcher, number 13, Cohen Leach. So far, 1 out, and Dylan Roberts on first base. A little low and outside, leads to ball, 1-0 count. right down the middle for a first strike. Dylan Roberts leads off, and pitcher thinks he's gonna go, so he threw it to the first baseman and went right under his glove. So Dylan Roberts makes it to second base. We have a 1-1 count for Cohen Leach with one runner on second. Inside leads to a 2-1 count. It's a foul ball right into the net. Another foul ball. Count is 2-2. Looks like he almost went for that one, but two inside, so good eye. Brings us to full count. Fouls it right back into the net. Another foul ball. Hits it right to the third baseman. And gets him out at first, but Dylan Roberts still stays on second base. Leads us to 2 outs. And this brings up our fourth batter, number 34, Ryan Butts. First pitch for Ryan's going to be a strike. Strike number 2. Inside, going to bring us to a 1-2 count. Slightly low. Brings the count to 2-2. Strike 3, and that brings us to the end of the first inning.
For the Braves at the bottom of the first, no runs on one hit. There was
No
one
runs scored
one
in
left on
the first
base.
inning. Let's see what can happen in inning number 2. Back on the mound is Dylan Roberts, number 1. And behind the plate, still Cohen Leach. It's like at first base, we have Ryan Butts. Second base is Aiden DiTomaso. Shortstop, number 12, Jonathan Oliger. And third base, number 19, Ethan Parker.
Leading off the second for the Spartans will be the shortstop, Ty Pence.
Starting off this inning is number 24, Ty Pence. It's a foul ball, which our left fielder runs to try to get, but fortunately I think it went over the fence. Leads us to a 1-1 count. That makes strike number 2. Strike number 3. This brings up number 18, Kobe Miller.
Kobe Miller, the catcher, now batting.
Kobe Miller is St. Joe's catcher. Strike number 1. It's a pop fly right to our left fielder.
Fly ball left
Brings us
field
to 2
second
outs.
out. Brings up Keaton Owen, the right fielder.
Our left fielder who just made that out is Braxton Barnes. Up now is number 8, Keaton Nolan, who just hit a foul ball pretty close to St. Joe's dugout. Hits a ball right to second baseman, who throws him out at first. Leads us to the bottom half of the second inning. 3 up, 3 out for the Braves. Pitcher Dylan Roberts is pitching pretty good today. He's been throwing it right where the ump wants. And easy enough for the St. Joe to be able to hit them. On the mound again for St. Joe is number 25, Creighton Burnett. And again behind the plate, number 18, Kobe Miller. Looks like our first baseman is number 9, Xander Riches.
Jonathan Oliver, the shortstop, will lead off the second for the Braves.
Up for Mount Zion is number 12, Jonathan Oliger, who plays shortstop or second for the Braves. First pitch for Jonathan is called a strike. Count is 1-1 as that last pitch was just called a ball. Strike number 2. Strike 3.
Bailey, right fielder, batting with 1 out.
Up next is our right fielder, number 6, Jacob Bailey. Count is 1-1 with ones all across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. It's a foul ball right to the first base coach, Mr. Rotz. And that is strike number 3. Up next is number 19, Ethan Parker.
2 out. The third baseman, Ethan Parker, now batting.
He's the third baseman. Count is 1-1. Slightly low and outside for ball number 2. Oh, almost right to the pitcher, but shortstop nags it and throws him out at first. Went right below the pitcher's glove. He turned around and tried to catch it, but luckily the shortstop was right behind him to get that out. We're in the top of the 3rd inning so far. Score is 0-0. Brings up number 16, Zach Martini. Strike one leads to a 1-1 count as the first ball was called ball. And this last pitch is a strike. Low and inside leads to another ball. It's a foul ball over the fence over by the right fielder. Brings us to full count. Brings us to 4 balls, and number 16 takes his base. This brings up our second baseman, Isaiah Imke. It's a foul ball over the fence over by right field. It's a ball out to right in between right field and center field. And number 16 runs, looks like that's a, oh, they threw him out at second, but number 16 managed to get on third base. So 1 out for the Spartans with 1 runner on base. Brings up the top of the lineup, number 5, Creighton Burnett. That is not right, I'm sorry. Number 5, Hayden Brazelton. There's slightly outside for a 1-1 count. Foul ball brings us to a 1-2 count. Another foul ball over the Mount Zion dugout. Throws it outside, leads us to a 2-2 count. That last ball was called a strike. So that brings us to 2 outs. This bring
Field last time.
brings up number 1, Tyler Altenbaumer. Tyler Altenbaumer, I believe, is their shortstop. Count is 0-2. Ball is hit to the second baseman, who gets you out at first.
No runs on one hit. There were no errors and one man left on base.
This brings us to the bottom of the third inning. It's actually been off and on raining over here. You can feel it from inside the booth, which is kind of crazy. But let's just hope it stays off so Spartans and the Braves can finish their game.
Leading off the third inning for the Braves, Timmy also the designated hitter.
Starting up the bottom of the third inning for the Braves is number 8, Timmy Alford. Strike 1. Timmy Alford is the DH for number 33, Braxton Barnes. Hits a ball straight to second base and gets out at first base. Ball was thrown right from 2-1. Brings up the last batter in Mount Zion's lineup, Aiden DiTomaso. Aiden DiTomaso is the second baseman for the Mount Zion Braves. Hits that first ball foul. Count is 1-2. There's one out. That last ball was a strike, so brings us to 2 outs and back to the top of the lineup with number 22, Ethan Hamrick. Ethan Hamrick is, I believe, the center fielder.
Grounded out shortstop last time.
At Ethan's first at bat, he hit one straight to the shortstop. Foul ball over on the left side of the field. Count is 1-2. Hits one right between the third baseman and shortstop, straight to the left fielder, and makes it to first. This brings up the pitcher, number 1, Dylan Roberts.
Single last time.
Last time, got a single. Hits it right to the center fielder, which fortunately brings us to
There were no errors and one man left on for the Braves in the third. We're scoreless after 3 complete.
brings us to the top of the 4th inning. Dylan Roberts keeps his place on the mound, as well as Cohen Leach behind the plate. I don't believe there's been any substitutions in any other fielding spots, but I could be wrong. So up first this inning for the Spartans is number 25, Creighton Burnett.
Struck out last time.
He struck out last time. He is the pitcher for the Spartans. First pitch is a strike. Strike number 2. Count is 0-2. Hits that ball foul. Keeps us at a 1-2 count. Grounds the ball, went right past the second fielder. Advances to first. This brings up number 15, Andrew Byers.
Andrew Byers now batting.
Looks like Andrew Byers is subbing in for number 1, Tyler Altenbomber. Hits one right over second baseman's head. Advances both him and number 25. Batting next is number 24, Ty Pence. There is 0 outs in 4th inning with runners on 1 and 2. It's a ball to shortstop and gets that runner out at second. So now there's a runner on 3rd and 1st.
Kobe Miller now batting with 1 out.
Brings up number 18, Kobe Miller. Count is 2-0. Kobe Miller is the Spartans catcher. It's a foul ball. Last at bat, he brief interruption, but number 12, Jonathan Oliver, just got that out at second. But last at bat, Kobe Miller hit one out to left field. Count is 3-1. Hits one out to center field, but Jonathan Oliver gets there first and catches that ball.
Nice catch by Oliver, short center field. For the Spartans, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base.
So far, no runs scored in the game. Brings us to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Already halfway through the game. I like to feel like it. Each butts and all of them.
Our next 3 batters for the Braves are going to be number 13, Cohen Leach, number 34, Ryan Butts, and number 12, Jonathan Oliver.
Leading off, number 13, Cohen Leach.
As I said earlier, the first batter for this inning is going to be number 13, Cohen Leach, who is the catcher. Ball 1. It's a foul ball, leads us to a 1-1 count. Grounds one to the shortstop, who throws one to the first baseman, who almost didn't catch that, but he was able to get the out.
Number 34, Ryan Butts batting with 1 out.
Next up, fourth on the lineup, number 34, Ryan Butts. Ryan Butts is playing first baseman. Ryan Butts hits it, and that's over the fence. Home run for Ryan Butts, scores the first run of the game. So, good job, Ryan.
It's the first run of the ball game on a home run by Ryan Butts, grandson of Big Butts.
You can see the whole team went out to congratulate him. So, following that is number 12, Jonathan Oliger, who's been playing shortstop. Sets up for a bunt, but pulls it back, but it's a strike.
Jonathan Oliver's the better.
Strike number 2. Leads us to an 0-2 count. Ball number 1 brings us to a 1-2 count. There's 1 out. Foul ball. I believe the ball hit Jonathan's bat, and I think it hit the catcher right in between the chest plate and the helmet, but looks like he's toughing it out. Count is 2-2. Another foul ball. Pretty inside. Thought it hit him, but calling it a ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brings us to full count. That brings us to strike number 3.
Number 2 out, number 6, Jacob Bailey.
Brings up number 6, Jacob Bailey. There's 2 outs. Jacob Bailey is the left fielder for the Braves, I think. Hits one to third baseman and throws to the first baseman, and that is the end of a 4th inning.
In the bottom of the 4th, there's 1 hit, 1 run, no errors, and no one left on base.
One run was scored this inning by Ryan Butts.
This button 1-0.
Brings our score to 1-0 in the 5th inning. And I believe I made a mistake earlier. I said that Jacob Bailey was the left fielder, but he is the right fielder, so that was my mistake. In the outfield today, we've got right fielder Jacob Bailey, center fielder Ethan Hamrick, and left fielder Braxton Barnes. Again, in our infield, on first base, we've got number 34, Ryan Butts. Playing second base, we've got number 11, Aiden DiTomaso. Shortstop, number 12, Jonathan Oliger. And third baseman, number 19, Ethan Parker.
Number 8, Keaton Nolan leads off the 5th.
Brings up number 8 for the Spartans, Keaton Nolan. Hits the tip of the bat for foul ball. Brings a strike number 1.
Tuesday, June, something like that. It's all inclusive, yeah.
Hits it right to the first baseman, who throws it to Dylan Roberts, and he is out. Good coverage by Dylan Roberts to get there before the runner. Secure that out.
If one out,
Brings us to
designated hitter
out number 1. This brings up number 16, Zach Martini. Zach Martini is the DH for number 9, Xander Reaches, who is the first baseman for the Spartans.
Kind of like 300 level by the third base.
Last ball was called a ball, and brings us to a 1-1 count.
He walked the last time he was up.
Last time, number 16 walked, and I believe he advanced to third base before the inning ended. Hits it foul, right across where the right fielder is. It's a fly ball to the left fielder, who catches it and secures that out. Brings us to 2 outs. And brings up the last batter in St. Joe's lineup.
Singled last time and got out trying to take second base.
Number 3, Isaiah Imke. Last at bat for Isaiah was a single and got out trying to advance to second. It's a foul ball right back into the net, which number 10, Aiden Page, goes to get. Hits it right to the second baseman, who throws it to Ryan Butch, who's able to secure that out. Brings us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Good inning for the Braves. This next inning is going to bring up Ethan Parker first, number 19. Ethan Parker is the 3rd baseman for the Braves.
So I was able to take it from, like, move it down. Usually it's set for like 6 megabits per second. You know, you can set that at the beginning. I moved it down to 3, and it seems to be working. It still looks good.
That's good.
That's all. It's all some big issues. So I have to remember that.
Count is 1-1 for Ethan Parker, number 19. Last at bat, Ethan grounded out to shortstop.
Good take.
Strike number 2. Foul ball. Out to right field. Is it right under the pitcher's glove and is able to beat the ball out to first base. Goes right over the first baseman's glove, so
Base hit for
solid job.
brings up Timmy Alford, the designated hitter.
Up next is number 8, Timmy Alford.
Gavin McInerney is the runner at first base.
There's just a sub for Ethan Parker at first base, number 7, Gavin McInerney. Timmy Alford sets up for a bunt. He's able to get it, but it goes foul. Count is 1-1. There are no outs. Sets up for that bunt. Is able to get it out. Able to advance the runner.
Successful. Brings up Aiden DiTomaso.
Brings up number 11, Aiden DiTomaso. Aiden DiTomaso is their second baseman and last at bat struck out. inside leads to the first ball. Next ball is called a strike, leads us to a 1-1 count. Strike number 2 for number 11. Three strikes for Aiden Tomato. Leads us to number 22, Ethan Hamrick's third at bat. Looks like St. Joe coach called a timeout. Still on the mound for St. Joe is number 25, Creighton Burnett. And behind the plate is number 18, Kobe Miller. Last couple at bats, Ethan Hamrick had a single and a ground out to the shortstop. Strike number 1. Foul ball into the net. Pitcher Dylan Roberts goes to retrieve the ball, hand it to the umpire. Ball number 1 leads us to a 1-2 count. There's 2 outs, and we've got one runner, number 7, Gavin McInerney, on second base. It's a fly ball to the left fielder.
No runs on 1 hit for the Braves in the 5th.
It's that 3 outs. No other runs scored in the 5th inning. Score is still 1-0. Brings us to the top of the 6th inning. Brings the top of the lineup for the Spartans.
Hayden
Number
Brazelton is the
5, Hayden Brazelton. Hayden Brazelton is the Spartans center fielder. Count is 2-1. Count is 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike number 3. Brings up number 1, Tyler Altenbaumer. Hits it right in between right fielder and center fielder again, just like he has last 2 at-bats, so pretty consistent.
Creighton Burnett.
Brings up the pitcher, number 25, Creighton Burnett. Strike number 1. There is 1 out in this inning so far and 1 runner at first base. Nice pitch by Dylan Roberts brings us 2 strikes, 0-2 count. Grounds it out to second baseman, who throws it to first baseman and secures that out. A little iffy there on whether or not he was going to be safe or out, but it was called out, so good job to second baseman number 11, Andy Tomaso. Brings up number 15,
Andrew Byers now batting.
Andrew Byers. Andrew Byers is the left fielder for the Spartans. That last hit advanced our runner to second base. Timeout called.
This guy grounded out to the pitcher and has a single.
Number 15 at the past at bats has grounded it out to pitcher and has a single. Looks like Coach Smith is tacking to the infield on the mound and
I tell your White Sox killed me yesterday, man. They would have made me 5 for 5 on my round robin.
count is 2-0. There's 2 outs with 1 runner on second. foul ball towards the right side of the field. Hits it foul towards the left side of the field this time. Twos all across the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Also 1 runner on second. 4th 2. Grounds it out to third baseman Ethan Parker, who throws him out at first base. Ends the first half of the 6th inning.
No runs on 1 hit for the Spartans.
Oh, he's safe.
Never mind, on that last call, he was safe. So St. Joe will continue to bat with 2 outs, 1 runner on first and third, I believe. After the umps talked it out, they realized that that play was indeed safe. So
Batting with 2 outs,
brings up
2
number
on.
24,
Callers here first. We have Ty Pence.
Ty Pence. Looks like Mr. Smith, or Coach Smith, called another timeout, brings his infield in.
Is that another thing that changed because of COVID?
Batter is Ty Pence.
Hundell.
Hits it out to center fielder, and it is caught. There's that third out.
No runs on 1 hit. 1 error. 2 men left on base.
Roberts Leach Butts.
Batting next for the Mount Zion Braves is number 1, pitcher Dylan Roberts, followed by number 13, catcher Cohen Leach. After that, first baseman number 34, Ryan Butts. Dylan has had some pretty excellent pitches this game, and he's been doing really good. He's a senior this year, and he actually graduated on this past Sunday.
Dylan Roberts leads off the sixth inning for Mount Zion.
First ball's in the dirt for a ball. Second pitch is a strike. Leads us to a 1-1 count. Bunts it right down the third baseman line. Is able to advance to first. Really good bunt there by Dylan Roberts. It's Dylan's second hit of the day. Brings up number 13, catcher Cohen Leach.
Leadoff single for Roberts brings up Cohen Leach, catcher.
Count is 1-0.
Good take.
Count is 2-1, as that last pitch was called a strike. Foul ball brings us to a 2-2 count. It's the bottom of the sixth inning, and there's no outs. We've got Dylan Roberts on first base. Swing and a miss for strike number 3. Brings up number 34, Ryan Butts.
Ryan Butts comes to plate.
Last at bat, Ryan Butts hit a home run by the right fielder, which gained Mount Zion their first run of the game. Strike number 1. Dylan Roberts is going, and he is going to be safe on second. Looks like he swung a little bit too much for the umpire, called that a strike. Count is 1-2. Brings us to strike number 3, brings up Jonathan Oliger.
Jonathan Oliger comes to plate.
So far, Jonathan has 2 strikeouts. Jonathan is a senior this year and graduated on Sunday as the co-salutatorian. So congratulations to Jonathan. Count is 1-1. Pitcher's watching out for Dylan Roberts, make sure, trying to prevent him from stealing another base. Strike number 2 brings us to a 1-2 count. Right now there is 2 outs. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that ends the 6th inning. Next 3 batters for the Spartans is going to be number 24, Ty Pence, number 18, Kobe Miller, and number 8, Keaton Nolan.
Braves lead the Spartans 1-0 after 6 complete.
Number 24, Ty Pence, is their shortstop. And number 18,
Leading off the top of the 7th.
Kobe Miller, is the catcher.
Kobe Miller, the catcher.
Excuse me, I made a mistake. Starting off this inning is number 18, Kobe Miller, the catcher. Past at bats, he's had 2 flyouts. Hits are right between center and right field. Stays on first base.
Leadoff single by Miller brings up Keaton Nolan.
Brings up number 8, Keaton Nolan. Keaton Nolan is Spartans' right fielder. Dylan throws it to Ryan Buss in order to keep Miller on base. Trying to prevent any advancements. Bunts it foul. Count is 0-2. First strike being a foul, and this second one being called a strike. Ball one. Fly ball out to left fielder Braxton Barnes. Scores the first out for the Braves
Number 16,
in the
hitter,
bottom of the seventh.
Martini on batting.
Next up is number 16, Zach Martini. First at bat was a walk. Second at bat was a fly to left field. It's a foul ball into the net, where number 8, Timmy Alford, goes to retrieve it. Zach Martini is the DH for number 9, the first baseman, Xander Riches. Nice pitch by Dylan Roberts. Brings a foul ball. Another foul ball back into the net. Keeps us at an 0-2 count.
Good spot.
Ball is just slightly inside, leads to a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss for strike number 3, and an almost out at first base. I believe the catcher tried to throw out first base runner. Unfortunately, that was not successful, but are still 2 outs. Brings up number 3, Isaiah Imke. Isaiah Imke is the second baseman. The Spartans, that first ball was called a ball, so the count is 1-0. Second ball's a strike. Leads us to a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, and it leads to count 1-2. Almost went right between Cohen Leach, the catcher's legs, but able to get it before it was able to escape. It's a foul ball out into the alternate baseball field. It's a foul ball to the left this time. Last foul ball was over towards the right. Two outs in the top of the 7th inning with one runner on first base. Count is 1-2. Pop fly out to right in between where the center fielder, shortstop, and second baseman are. They all ran to catch it, but unfortunately hit the ground before any of them could reach it.
Struck out both times.
Gives us number 18 on
Oh, I'm sorry, get a base hit first.
on second base and number 3 on first base. Brings up number 5,
On down.
Hayden Brazelton. This leads us to the top of the Spartans lineup. Another timeout called.
That was all that kid could do to get that ball out there. I know he is going to.
Looks like we are having a switch in pitchers, bringing in number 22 center fielder Ethan Hamrick to pitch. And I'm not quite sure where Dylan Roberts is going, but looks like he's headed into the outfield.
Ethan Hamrick. Dylan Roberts will go to center field.
Looks like Dylan Roberts will go to center field. Dylan Roberts has pitched a pretty excellent first 7 innings, so good job to Dylan. Just taking the time to warm up this next pitcher, number 22, Ethan Hamrick. Looks like they're getting ready to resume playing. Looks like the first batter Ethan Hamrick is going to pitch to this game is going to be, again, number 5, Hayden Brazelton.
On him.
One pitch. Grounding.
Slightly high for ball number 1. Again, slightly high for ball number 2. Strike number 1 leads us to a 2-1 count. There is 2 outs this inning with runners on 1 and 2. Number 18, Kobe Miller is on second base. And number 3, Isaiah Imke is on first. Count is 3-1.
He's over the plate. He's over the plate. Check that. Cohen, he's over the plate. He's over the plate.
It's ball number 4. Brings
Tyler Altenbrummer is now batting.
Hayden Brazelton had just walked. So bases are loaded. Brings up the pitcher, number 1, Tyler Altenbaumer. Excuse me, that was a mistake. He is the third baseman, I believe. Count is 0-1. 2 outs, bases loaded. Ball number 1 brings us to a count of 1-1. That next ball was called a ball, so it brings us to a 2-1 count.
All right.
3-1 count. So walk for number 1 brings in 1 run for the Spartans, their first run. Brings up number 25, the pitcher, Creighton Burnett.
Creighton Burnett is the batter.
Count is 1-0. Still 2 outs and bases loaded. Score is now 1-1 though, so tie game. Slightly high, brings us to a 2-0 count. It's like our third baseman, catcher, and pitcher are talking over these calls on the mound. Got your third baseman, number 19, Ethan Parker, your catcher, number 13, Cohen Leach, and your pitcher, number 22, Ethan Hamrick. The last ball was called a strike. Count is 2-1. Count was now 3-1. It's a walk for our pitcher, number 25, Clayton Burnett. Brings a score to 1-2 Spartans. Coach Smith is calling in everyone to the mound, and looks like we are switching pitchers again. Now pitching number 19, Ethan Parker. Ethan Parker was previously playing third base. It's the top of the 7th inning. We've got 2 outs, and bases are still loaded. So far, 2 runs have been scored this inning, both by St. Joe. And both scores were caused by walks. It's like we're almost finished warming up our new pitcher, Ethan Parker. And I believe, yeah, Ethan Hamrick is going to be taking over for him at third base. Ethan Parker is also a senior who graduated on Sunday. Foul tip leads to a 0-1 count. The batter is number 15, Andrew Byers. Andrew Byers is the left fielder for the St. Joe Spartans. Hits it right to shortstop, who is able to secure that last out at second base. Brings us to the bottom of the 7th inning.
2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the 7th to make this game 2-1.
Up next for the Braves is number 6, Jacob Bailey, followed by number 19, Ethan Parker, and then number 8, Timmy Alford. Number 6, Jacob Bailey, is the right fielder. Number 19, Ethan Parker, was previously playing as the third baseman, but was just subbed in as pitcher this past batter at the inning.
Now batting, Jacob Bailey.
Still on the mound for St. Joe is number 25, Clayton Burnett. I believe no other sub-ins for any of the St. Joe infield. At first base for St. Joe is number 3, Isaiah Imke. Second base is number 1, Tyler Altenbaumer. I believe shortstop is
Number 19, Ethan Parker.
number 24 tie pence. And third base is, correction, third base is number 1, Tyler Aldenbomber. Up now is Ethan Parker, number 19. Count is 1-2. There's one out. Tries to get that ball, but fortunately couldn't get enough hold on it, so leads to a foul tip. It's a fly ball right in between right and center. Is able to advance to first. Nice single by Ethan Parker brings up number 8, Timmy Alford.
White is the runner at first base. Bryce White.
Subbing for Ethan Parker running is number 4, Bryce White. First ball for Timmy Alford is called a strike. A 1 count with 1 out. Ball 1. Ball number 2. Swing and a miss. Leads to a 2-2 count. Good swing by Timmy, but unfortunately was not able to make contact. Leads to the second out of the inning.
2 out. Excuse me, Bryce Nichols is now batting.
Brings up number 3, Bryce Nichols. Looks like St. Joe is bringing up a new pitcher, number 24, Ty Pence.
There's a for sale sign on a big old rusty tractor. You can't miss it. It's the first thing that you see. Just up the road.
Looks like the St. Joe infield is meeting up with the St. Joe outfield over by second base. Well, number 24, Ty Pence, gets a chance to warm up.
Now pitching for the Spartan, Ty Pence.
Ty Pence was previously the shortstop, I believe, which puts number 25, Creighton Burnett, at shortstop now. First pitcher, Ty Pence, is a strike. Brings us to an 0-1 count with 2 outs on the board. Ball number 1. Again, it's the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs, 1 runner on 1. The score is 2-1 Spartans. Third out for Mount Zion. And I believe that's game. Final score is 2-1 Spartans. So congratulations to both teams. Great game today. And that's it for